welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucy, and in today's video I wanted to give you guys some wintry reading recommendations. So winter is one of my favourite seasons after autumn, and the best thing I think about winter is the time that you can spend inside just reading. I also have a lot of wintry and Christmassy favourite books, so this is the perfect time to really up my reading game and basically try and complete my TBR by the end of the year. So I have 5 recommendations here for you today. So to kick us off, I really wanted to recommend a book that I'm going to be reading this winter. It is A Poem for Every Winter Day, and this is edited by Ali Asiri. So this was kind of gifted to me from Pan Macmillan. And the reason why I wanted to feature this in this recommendations video is because poetry is something I often don't have a lot of time for and I don't really read. But the point of this book is to dip in and dip out throughout the course of winter. So basically this kicks off on the 1st of December and lasts until the end of February, start of March. So there is a poem for every one of those days. I really want to try and read a poem in this book every single day of December and just see if I can do it. See if I can read some poetry every single day. So I think this will be a really cozy, lovely, festive book, whilst also just getting some extra poetry into your life. So this includes a mixture of like modern poets like George the Poet, and older poets, of course, like Burns, you've got Thomas Hardy, you've got William Blake, you've got all sorts of poets in here, and that's why I think this is really special. This is really a book for everyone. So I really would recommend this as a first option for your winter reading list. The second book I really wanted to recommend in this video was The Language of Thorns, and this is by Leigh Bardugo. This is a collection of fairy tales from the Grishaverse. If you're not aware of what the Grishaverse is, Leigh Bardugo has basically crafted this beautiful fantasy world that she has called the Grishaverse. And basically these are fairy tales from that universe. The reason why I wanted to recommend this is I think that fairy tales are kind of a perfect thing for winter. I feel fairy tales make me feel very cozy, very like comforted, and there's something so magical about them which I think makes them perfect to read for this time of year. So you don't have to have read the whole Grishaverse to really understand these stories. They are standalone and you can just read them and dip in and dip out. The other thing I really love about this book is that the illustrations are like out of this world. Every single story, every single page is beautifully illustrated, as you can see. And I just think the look of this book in general is just super wintry and beautiful, and the foiling is just stunning. So I would really recommend The Language of Thorns if you've not read it yet. Really dip in and dip out of this. It is a magical collection of short stories and fairy tales, and even if you're not a Grishaverse fan, if you've never read any of those books, I still think it's quite a nice little thing to read and will hopefully take you away into a world more magical. So my third recommendation is one of my all-time favourite books, and it is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. So you might be looking at this gorgeous cover. This does not reflect the kind of mood of Wuthering Heights whatsoever, but it is a very beautiful object. So Wuthering Heights, if you've not read it before, is a very dark, gloomy, atmospheric, chilling tale of love, of loyalty, of revenge. It's just incredible, and you will have probably heard of Emily Bronte, and most of you will have read this book. The reason why I love reading this book every winter, I try hard to read it every winter if I can, it's just so atmospheric. It takes you onto the Yorkshire moors. You can practically feel the frost and the chill. And that's why I love rereading this novel every winter, because there is just that atmosphere about it, and it does transport you onto those dark, gloomy moors. Also, the kind of obsession and, you know, the love in this story, especially between Heathcliff and Cathy, is so obsessive and encapsulating that it just draws you in. And this is the perfect book to read in front of like a roaring fire with blankets and hot chocolate. Like, this is the perfect wintry read, and I hope you would agree with me. So if you are looking for wintry recommendations and you've never read Wuthering Heights, please consider picking this up. Don't be kind of put off that it is a classic and, you know, it has quite a dark dingy theme to it, I guess. Like, it has a kind of darkness to it. Really embrace that and you will be transported into another time and you won't regret reading this book. Onto something a bit more festive, a bit more Christmassy. We have a short story collection, Almost Midnight by Rainbow Rowell. So this book is 2 festive short stories by Rainbow Rowell. So in this book is a short story called Midnights and also a short story called Kindred Spirits. So you may recognise Midnights from another anthology, festive anthology, which might be up next. But Kindred Spirits, I think, was a separate short story that they did for like World Book Day or something like that. Basically, what ties these 2 short stories together in this adorable little gifty, little beautiful hardback here is the fact that they're set over Christmas and New Year. Midnights is obviously about New Year and Kindred Spirits is about a Star Wars release over Christmas. And I remember I once read this book cover to cover in the bath and the water was cold by the time I finished it, but I was so festive, I felt so cozy, I was so in love with these 2 short stories. Also, if you're looking for a festive gift, this is perfect as well. I already have my Christmas bookish gift guide already up on my channel, which I'll leave a link to in the description bar, but this book isn't on it, but I do think this would make the perfect gift for you or someone else. So I really would recommend, if you are looking for something to get you into the festive mood, maybe you're not feeling very Christmassy yet, this will do the trick, trust me. And finally, I did mention there would be a winter anthology collection. And I can't do a Christmassy winter book recommendations video without including My True Love Gave to Me, edited by Stephanie Perkins. This has many, many short stories in it from Holly Black, Ali Carter, Gail Foreman, Jenny Han, David Levithan, Kelly Link, Stephanie Perkins, Rainbow Rowell, Laini Taylor, Kirsten White, Matt De La Puena, and Myra McIntyre. There you go. So not only does it look absolutely adorable, we also have the highlighter pink sprayed edges. Look at these end pages, oh my god. So this is, of course, a beautiful looking book, but the short stories inside are each very, very different. So if you're kind of looking for some contemporary Christmas romance, you'll find it in here. If you are looking for a fantasy, dark, festive story, you will find it in here. There is everything in here. If you're looking for a queer Christmassy love story, you will also find it in here. There is something for everyone in this book. I honestly read it cover to cover and I think I've reread it as well, like especially my favorite ones. I would really recommend getting this, like if you don't feel Christmassy and you really want an injection of Christmas joy, this is the one for you. So guys, those were my wintry reading recommendations, from the festive to the cozy to the chilling. Got all sorts in here. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider hitting that like button because it really helps the video out, and also clicking subscribe so you never miss an upload from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video was helpful and you got some recommendations, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.